Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EURUSD. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Hello everybody, today it's Friday, 18th of November, and as usual we will discuss the situation on the euro currency. Start as usual from the daily time frame. Well, on the daily time frame we see a relatively shallow price action, some kind of markets indecision, because we see that side by side there are some intraday sessions are forming currently on the market. So we see that solid plunge to the downside. Market has hit 100% extension from that recent ABCD pattern, and now market stands in the tight range, almost in the range of that bar. So we can see that yesterday market also strived to continue move to the upside but failed and closed inside the previous trading session. Today we also see some kind of shallow price action. So very common that kind of price actions when the market is forming side-by-side trading session, inside trading sessions, it very often leads to some explosive move on the market. So the recent time when we have discussed it was in that area. So we said that since market is forming currently some sessions in the tight range, although this was not quite the inside trading sessions, but that's almost the same. So when the market stands in the very tight range, it very often explodes in one or other direction. So here it was to the downside. So it means that market is ready for some breakout to the upside or to the downside. Currently we do not know in what direction this could happen, but now market stands in the some trading range, and we could treat it as the building of an energy on the market. So if we take a look on the downside, you'll see that next support is right here, 133.77. Then we see some area of support, 127 extension from that ABCD pattern, 133.20. A bit lower, this is monthly pivot support 132.94. Then 88 support 132.67, and 100% extension 134.44 from that great ABCD. A, B, C, top 100% stands right here. So from the previous price action, if we take a look at that action, we will see that in general market shows absolutely logical bearish behavior, because market has hit 618 target as we discussed from that ABCD pattern. Okay, has shown just 38 resistance retracement from the whole swing to the downside, and continue move further. That is absolutely a common and typical price action for in the bearish trend. When the market hits some few extensions, it shows some shallow retracement, especially if this is 618. Well, logically speaking, this market should continue move to the downside. Well, daily trend is still bearish. So let's take a look on the intraday charts to see some clues maybe for resolving the current situation. Well, yesterday we said that probably market could continue move further and take out that high, because that was the stop grabber on the 4-hour time frame. Well, and the fact that market couldn't do that enforce the bearish buys on the market. Tells us that probably bears are still strong, because market in fact trying to hit that area but couldn't do that, and returns right back. Now we see clear that this some kind of triangle or large pennant is forming on the 4-hour time frame. You know that this is the continuation pattern. Also take a look, that trend has shifted to bullish side. So because price action stands above the red line is the Jordan MACD predictor indicator. It shows the trend, but you can see that price action doesn't support that. So trend is bullish, but price action stands flat. This is some kind of the bearish dynamic pressure. The bearish dynamic pressure usually leads to the continuation move to the downside. So in general, current price action, as from the perspective of the classical pattern, that's triangle, as from the perspective of the the MACD predictor indicator, the dynamic pressure, has mostly the bearish environment. Now, still, very often market is showing some fake outs, especially when there's some well-recognizable pattern is forming on the market. So, if you will take a look at the hourly time frame, initially we could see this kind of butterfly inside that triangle. The target of that butterfly nearest 127 is 135.89, the 1618 136.35. That is the first potential butterfly. The failure point of that butterfly is right here, 134.20. If market will move below it, then this butterfly will be cancelled. Another butterfly could be butterfly buy to the downside, and the failure point of that butterfly is right here at the top, 135.40. So that is really the riddle for the current trading session. The targets, by the way, of this butterfly is 133.88, 133.46. The 33.88 stands very close to the 786 on daily support. It's right here, 33.77. Well, that's the riddle for the current trading session, as I said. Probably if you will drop lower to the lower time frames, you will find some clues and potentials how to trade that. But in general, the fact that market has failed to continue move according to that pattern. Also, as you remember, we discussed this potential double bottom pattern right here. So market hasn't even reached the neckline of this double bottom pattern and retraced right back. This is in general doesn't add power to the bulls. So in general, I think that this enforces the bears and add confidence that probably market still continue move to the downside. That's just my personal expectations, my personal feelings. But the market is not something that should be driven by feelings. We need to see some clear patterns before to trade. So we should keep an eye on current development in the inside of this triangle, and probably you could try to trade one butterfly or another depending on what you will see on the lower time frames. I just want to show you some different scenarios that could happen during current trading sessions. But again, since market has failed accomplish this pattern, also it has failed this potential double bottom and turns to some triangle consolidation. This probably tells that bears have more chances to succeed rather than bulls in the current environment, especially if you take in account consideration on the daily time frame, because trend here is also bearish, and that price action in general has the bearish momentum. So, and I think that still bears are a bit more powerful currently than bulls. But anything could happen on the market. Trade only clear patterns and pull the trigger only when you have sufficient confidence to do that.